Welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast with author Sarah F. Hathaway and co-host Chen Gibson. Blending survival, fiction, and fact to bring you entertaining education that will help you dream, survive, and thrive. And now, here's your host, Sarah F. Hathaway and Chen Gibson.
Hello, and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. This is episode number 357. Hey, Chen, what's up?
Hey, chin's up.
Man, I got to apologize to my podcast listeners that are on my channel, been with me for years. I totally stumbled on getting the podcast up last week because I have so many projects going on. I woke up this morning and went, wait a minute. Did I even post last week's podcast? So, yeah, there's that. So you're going to get back-to-back shows, which is always cool, but... a
little binge.
Right?
A little mini binge.
A little mini binge, that's right. So everything's squared back away. I've just been so busy with getting together documents for the Hollywood industry that I'm dancing, working full time, homestead, kids, dogs, chickens, everything. Hot. Texas is hot.
I saw you post that you were writing postcards from hell.
Yes.
It was that hot.
It was. It literally has been. Honestly, ever since we left for California in June, Texas heated up. And it has not relented except for we got one storm through.
Texas was mad at you.
Oh, man. It's
I'll
still
teach you a lesson. You could just walk out on me.
Right? Like, don't go back there. Oh, so yeah, it's been hot. So I'm very jealous of everyone with all your storms, even though I know we were talking just beforehand. You lost your power. I know Dave Jones got hit pretty hard by some storms. I got him in our Changing Earth news today. So prayers go out to everybody who are getting the rain and stuff. But at the same time, you're not my friends anymore.
Yeah, I didn't have to water the garden this afternoon. So that's nice.
I've only had one day. What's funny, though, is it's so hot. It's not very humid. And I'm very used to growing gardens in this type of environment from California. So my garden's doing great. I've noticed the other Texans are kind of petering out. But, yeah, I know exactly how to grow plants in this weather. So we got our new trellises up for shade. And the garden's just going really good. It's the best year I've had for it. So I can't complain.
Nice.
Blessed in some ways.
Practice.
Yeah, cursed in others. So yeah, pretty much besides that one storm and the heat, it's been like fairly uneventful here in Texas, and we're there. Rumors of the roaming power outages. None of that has affected us yet. Thank goodness. It's only in the cities. Thanks to a lot of green energy initiatives. That's what we get to deal with now. So, yeah, green energy.
Black is the new green.
Right? Blackouts. Yeah, love it. And, imagine the irony. You move to a new state to get away from all that stuff, and it just follows you down here. I mean, gosh.
Yep. You shouldn't talk about it so much. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon.
I know. It's not like I have a show or something where I talk about it. So.
Right.
So how's the homesteading go there? You got a whole bunch of trees in. How everybody made it through the storm good and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm learning how to deal with wasps.
Oh,
those freaking things are trying to build homes everywhere.
Right?
Holy crap.
Yep.
I counted like 5 or 6 of them inside the new house because they don't have windows yet.
You got to walk away with the wasp spray, or walk around with the wasp spray hanging low.
Then we found a huge, I bet it's maybe 30 inches tall, a huge nest out in the woods.
So a trick that I found, like in the ground one?
No, it's
up in the tree or something?
It's like a wart on the side of a tree.
Got you. Well, a trick that I found was for the hanging ones, like the mud ones that hang,
Yeah.
If you can spray it at night to kill them all. But you leave it hanging there. Wasps don't like to make nests near old wasp nests.
Oh, yeah.
So knocking them all down is not always the best idea, even though they're kind of ugly. But sometimes it does help deter the activity of other wasps from coming in.
I was thinking double aught buckshot, but no.
I mean, if it's in front of your house, it's a problem. I'm just going to say, that's a problem.
It's across the road, but I'm wondering if all the wasps that I'm experiencing are coming from that huge megatropolis.
It could be, So
anyway,
in the
that's
ground
what
ones, it's gasoline. You pour gasoline down there. No, for real. Like the in the ground, the mud dauber type ones. You don't even have to light it on fire. Just early in the morning, you go and pour gasoline down there, and it kills them all. Yeah.
What one's not lighting them on fire?
Well, yeah, it's like the fumes that have to kill them. So if you light it on fire, you just burn it all out, But yeah, wasps are a joy. The only good thing is about them, sometimes some types will like lay their eggs in hornworm and tomato worms and stuff and attack the hornworm population.
Yeah.
So, this year we did marigolds like all around our tomatoes.
Yeah.
Even though they're kind of crowding out the tomato plants, they sure do help keep the hornworms away. We've only caught like one of them on those plants, knock on wood.
Yeah, we planted marigolds, but they didn't all come up as well as they should have.
Oh, that's one thing we can grow.
I only have one clump of marigolds. We should have had like half a dozen.
Oh, got you. I can send you seeds by the gangload. I have a whole freaking bag of them from last year because that's one thing that just boomed in our garden. Our marigolds were like huge.
Yeah, we had them on our patio garden, and they were huge. They were tall. Yeah. I've never seen marigolds go so tall. So we saved the seeds, and that's what we planted. But I guess they were South Carolinian, not North Carolinian.
Oh, yeah. Definitely North and South division there. Yeah.
But
all right. Well, today we're taking a look at episode 2 of season 2 of the Changing Earth audio drama. How'd you like it? Did you get a chance to listen to it?
Get up, because we all fall down.
All right. You like that?
Yeah, it's like jumping around, all your music you got in there.
You like that, huh? I did I even did a playlist over on my website. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So you can go over to the playlist, and then all the music's there. I figured, the artists are so awesome for putting it up so you can use it commercially, right? I might as well help them out. And yeah, so I created a page on the website that's every song that I use that has the words to it is you could actually play it. And then the ones that don't have words and stuff, it's just a list to credit out who, whose music is in there. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have my own like playlist that I listen to all the time of my audio drama because I just dig the music in there. So I'm glad you enjoy that. You're the music man too. So that means a lot coming from you. Yeah.
Oh, music. Yeah, he got some good tunes in there.
Yeah, and it really sets the mood of everything. So, so yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. We had the first act with Erica. They were going out to see the gardens, and help with compost. So compost is an interesting thing because we think, it's our food scraps that make up the compost. But I'm thinking, like, in a post-collapse situation, how much food scraps are you really going to have?
Right. You're going to be eating that.
Right, you're going to be eating that.
Or feeding it to the animals.
Yeah, and then exactly.
If any scraps,
exactly.
You'd be going to the animals.
What the dogs are going to eat. What are the chickens going to eat, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking like post-apocalyptic compost is mostly just manure.
Yeah.
Because you can make some great manure teas, that are super nitrogen for your plants. And they're a lot. Chicken poo is really hot, but a lot of like horse manure and things like that are a lot less hot and a lot safer to use and easier to use. So I'm thinking that's going to be like the big time compost in a post collapse.
Yeah. All the rabbits and goats and horses and cows.
The rabbits, and in this case, in the story, it's llama poop.
Llama, I know.
Yeah. And we used to have a llama out there that we called it Baracco llama. It was funny. little llama. So anyway, those poops are actually like some of the best things you can use for compost because they help. You can like buy the dirt that has those little white flecks in it to like make sure your soil stays aerated.
Yeah.
Well, because of the pellet-like shape of those poops, it helps do that job, and it's a fertilizer. So pretty cool, right? Those are like the best. So rabbit, llama, good.
Good.
Yes, they are good manures. I tried to cut my list down today too per chapter. So if you guys want even more topics out of, the series, I've gone through all the books and podcasts before. So Erica's whole line has a show for every chapter, and I linked it through on the last one. I'm going to continue to do that so you can just go explore all kinds of topics because last week we almost went over, so I kind of shrunk my topics this week down a little bit, so we didn't have so much pressure.
Because you have so much free time.
I know. Yeah, we're not going to go there.
I just posted the soundtrack link.
Yeah,
in chat,
yeah. So. Check that out, guys. You'll like that.
Sure.
And then I'm blanking. Free Music Archive. That's where all the music comes from, and these are all either Creative Commons songs or attribute that you're allowed to use commercially. So
nice.
Those artists for doing that is spectacular. My favorite song that I think defines Erica's character the best is Wild Heart, and that's the one that I play at the end of everything when it's like the end music. And I'm saving that song for special times only, like when she reunited with Vince. It was Wild Heart. Brian Mathis is the singer. So that's a special spot in my heart. Okay, anyway, squirrel. So in Swenson's chapter, he's meeting with Alyssa, and he has this leadership problem going on within his camp. And
so why are you telling me about it now?
Yeah, why are you bringing it up to if you're handling it, then why do I got to be a part of it, right?
Yep.
I've used that line at work a few times since I actually wrote it. Like, if you were handling it, then why am I getting involved? What am I doing here? So, you need some type of leadership structure no matter what you're doing. Like, there always has to be a little bit of a command structure to make things work, in my opinion. Even if you have a group of faithful people that are, believing in the Lord above, they're being led by the Lord above. So you still have a command structure going, right? So to me, it just seems necessary. It doesn't mean that you can't switch up spots and trade in and out with each other.
One person, like who's the gardener? Oh, Vince raises his hand, right? Or right. Who's the kick butt?
Who's going to head up the defense?
Erica, yeah.
Who's, taking care of medics? Right? Who's taking care of us psychologically? Oh, I'm staying away from that person. No, I'm kidding.
But if you don't, then the committee goes nowhere, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You could just get stuck forever in no clear objective, no clear direction. So definitely
somebody's got to make the final call.
And especially if your system's working, then more people are going to want to be a part of your system, and then that system's going to expand. And as that happens, you start taking on more communities under one leadership flag. You're definitely going to have more and more of a command structure because leadership's always best at a community level first. People that understand the needs of those people the closest, and then can report that up, kind of deal. Something we're pretty much losing in our world right now.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going into Vergis. And we got Chaffee cutting wood. This is one of my favorites. That's why when you said I need a wood splitter, I was like,
why was I thinking about that?
I think you got one, Chin.
Yeah,
I'm looking at him. That's the wood splitter right there.
I hear you. My goodness.
Yeah, so Monroe comes in all bent. He wants to go and help the community get supplies, and they're not capable of handling this stuff. And Virgis is like, "Oh my gosh, you got to get me involved in everything. I just wanted to come and hide my hole, basically." So it comes to question, I have lived in a house where we had to have firewood for wintertime. That was our heating source. And granted, we weren't like in the Midwest where we were like freezing, but it gets darn cold up in the foothills, There's days you were seeing your breath in that house. So it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work, And heating and cooling without power is a major consideration. So either you have a system to make sure you have power. The other thing is they also suck up a lot of power to work, though. Right? Like your solar system, if it's powering your air conditioner, that's a lot of drain on it, right? You're not doing anything else, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Unless you got like little mini splits or something like that. But
even that.
Yeah. Right? That's a serious, even a window air conditioner is a serious.
They have those calculators online. If it's scary to see how much an average grade tide house uses.
And then if you plan on like running a refrigerator and the air conditioner or a freezer. And so we're talking some serious amounts of power. So there has to be some considerations made. Even where we're at here in Texas, this has really been on my mind because we were back in the desert where we saw how they used to build these like adobe houses to take in the fact of like using geothermal energy for cooling.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we live in a house that was built in 2012. So it's your cookie cutter builder came in, built the house, bloop, moved on. Right?
Yeah.
So we're completely reliant upon these systems. I haven't lived in a house like this ever, and it's a little spooky, what if we did lose power? And it is hot here, people are at serious risk.
That was I think the hardest thing to account for was cooling. Mm-hmm. I mean, heating, put a fireplace or put a couple wood burning stoves or something and heat, but cooling, that's a tough one.
Right. And we have a lot of tricks after living in California where we couldn't afford air conditioning. Mm-hmm. And the Sacramento area is hot, hot, hot. It just doesn't have the humidity hot that Texas has. But so we know a lot of tricks, and vaulted ceilings always help. We have vaulted ceilings here too. But it's a serious threat. If it continues on and you're just day after day, and then especially for like my husband, he works out in the heat all day, and to not have like that cool spot to come home to would be crazy, So, and then I was thinking also, they're all about the supplies right now in Virgis's world. I almost gave out a spoiler. So it's all the concern about supplies moving, and will the government be bringing more in, that kind of thing. So supplies move on our trucks, our trains, our planes. I mean, look at what we're dealing with right now. And we're not even I would say we're in chapter 10 of the post-apocalyptic novel right now.
It's crazy. I mean,
not quite to Mad Max outfits yet.
I was putting these big spikes on my car though.
Were you? Yeah, on the outside. Yeah, with a mohawk down the top. Yeah, my van's gonna get tripped out.
That tank troop transport I posted?
Yes, I did.
It's this is gonna be my grocery getter.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's
everybody hop in. We're gonna go get some groceries.
Well, and my thought on martial law, that kind of thing, was there's no way they could ever impose that on the whole country with the amount of manpower and how much of the police force, military force, that kind of thing would actually go along with that.
We just had talk about police. We just had a rude awakening. So one of our friends was driving back from town, and he literally got run off the road. So somebody swerved into it was a 2-lane, swerved into his lane and kept coming at him. and he had to go down into the culvert. Luckily, he had a big pickup truck, went into the culvert, came back out the other side, and like nothing bad happened.
Uh-huh.
So he swung around and caught up with the car and like called 911, and they're like, "Well, we can't do anything." And then he stopped by. There was like a cop. He found a cop as he was following this other car and stopped, and the cop is like, "It's out of our jurisdiction. You had to call."
Oh my gosh.
State police. You had to call the state police.
Oh.
And
You
so
see?
they got passed through to the state police, and he goes, "We're an hour and 20 minutes away."
Right.
We're all like, when he came and told us that story, we're like, uh-huh. And this is good time.
Yeah, exactly.
That literally just happened.
But you
week.
definitely don't need a firearm to protect yourself.
So
when there's an hour and 20-minute response time.
Yeah, because that could have been. We don't know. Was it like distracted driver? Was it like, is this a new like punch game?
Right.
Try to drive people off the road, or is it? Were they drunk or high? We don't know.
Exactly.
And it's just crazy.
Yeah, that
what
is
if
nuts.
it was some kind of like road rage or try to like carjacking kind of scenario where to get you to go off the road and then they like rob you or something.
Yeah.
We don't know, but the not city, but the town cop and then the state police were of no help. Yeah,
that makes you feel real confident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, yeah. So I always thought like there's no way they could do martial law unless you could just control the supplies, the food distribution centers.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
And that's basically what is kind of what's happening right now, right?
Kind of the federal government says you want all these like road stipends and all this, that, and the other thing, and then you got to do what they want you to do because you're taking their money.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So it just kind of keeps you under
the boot.
The
that to the counties, and the county does that
keeps
to the
you
towns.
Under the boot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so in Erica's chapter, she goes down and she's visiting with Betsy at the gardens, and
well, she wanted to keep fighting, didn't she? Or training.
She did want to keep training. Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, we spent time together.
She wasn't very much into a walk on the hills and the la-di-da-di-da-di, get serious, keep training, and be self-defense ready. But Vince talks her into it,
Yep.
And so a little bit of a time to visit with Betsy, and that was like the heartwarming conversation there over, what happened with Jen. And it's just kind of illustrated to me, like, I have some friends that are more my family than some of my family,
Right.
And in times like that, the bonds that you form, like when you think about military people who have been into these situations together and like the brotherhood that they share, kind of special, actually. How cool is that on one hand that you can form those types of relationships and whatnot? Kind of missing from our world today, I would say. It seems kind of stale as far as just social media and stuff like that. So I'm blessed to have reached, formed so many great friendships with people across the world, right? And a lot of my family is very, very remote too. So in a grid down collapse situation, what's the guarantee that you would ever see any of those people again?
Right.
I mean, distance will be astronomical once again. This used to be a big planet, not a very small one, And so,
well, it's like in the Little House of the Prairie that we read through, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they saw their family like once a year, a couple times a year, and it was always something to do with like seasonal tasks or chores, right? It's like we're gonna go get whatever the maple sugar, we're gonna go do this or that.
The cow butchery, so we can all share in it. And they probably weren't very far away from each other, when you think about like the real distance.
These distances today,
right?
yeah.
But
I mean, today we think, nothing about driving from New York to Walt Disney World, right? But,
right. I'll be out, I'm driving to North Carolina in September.
Yep.
I just got back from a trip to California. I mean,
Texas,
that was like months long to do something like that. Now it's like even without a plane, you're still like zip, zip,
Yep.
So And then with a plane, you can be anywhere in the world within 14 hours, you know?
You ever look at like Google Maps and do a route, and then it shows you could do like if you walked or if you biked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because studying for my stories, right?
Oh, yeah. Holy smokes.
I was like, oh, they're going from here to there. How long would it take to? Oh, no, we can't have it take that long. They're like superhumans. They're doing this way faster. Yeah. No, it's true. That's true. So that was a question on that one. Okay, and then in Swenson's chapter, I kind of love this one because Mr. Lee's like trying to allude him to the fact that like, doesn't it suck when good men can't get along? And he's like totally fighting with Sergey, you know, every step of the way. And Mr. Lee's like,
we have one more fight this evening.
Right? No, that's the next one. That was awesome. So, yeah, like idle hands have to stay busy kind of thing, even when you have like people, warriors, right? In Japan, after they unified that country, they were so used to the samurais to having this warlike existence that the new emperor sent them to war against China was what they wanted to do, but they had to go through Korea to get there. So they ended up having to invade Korea because Korea wouldn't let them come through. But he basically sent them all to war again because he couldn't have all these people just standing around idle. They would just start fighting with each other again and like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So if you think about that, once people get into that, you know, groove, you'd have to find really creative ways to keep the peace once you get into that moment of, okay, our existence is fighting to survive. All right. So Virgis takes his trip to Vegas. He goes for the government assistance.
Wait. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, sir.
Stays in Vegas. That's right. That's right. You just totally threw me off, dude. Oh my God. So,
that's my job.
So in fiction land, when you go to the government for help, you get help and you get to go on your way. But in real life land, when you go to the government for help, they say, okay, come on in. You're going to stay here now. So, I mean, it happened at like the Superdome and all the natural disasters when they do the actual FEMA camps and stuff. You're not allowed to leave once you're in there. So it's not a place that would be number one on my list to be headed for help, you know, even though it's such a tricky thing to think about in real life. So,
yeah, well, try to do your best to be prepared for situations so you don't have to.
That's it right there. The self-reliance and the community, right? You can't just be your own speck inside of your community. You have to like be in a community that is thinking about it, that can weather the storm. That's one nice thing about being out here. And then my other thought was, you know, they're always like, papers, please, papers, please. So the bug out folder for your bag when you bug out, you got to make sure you have your IDs, you have your birth certificates, marriage certificates, house information, vehicle information, insurance information, all of that stuff you've got to have. You can put it on a zip drive. You can put it on the cloud, but man, you better make sure you have it. And I would have a hard copy of it. I do have a hard copy of it in a folder. So that make sure that you have that folder, you have it ready to go. Everybody in your house knows where to grab it from because that information would be absolutely priceless in a time like that. So many, like working in the insurance business when somebody's house burns down, right? And they're not home or something like that. Do you have this on file? Do you have that on file? Yeah. Right? Can I get a copy of this, that, and the other? And
yeah, here's the ashes.
Right? Exactly. So got to have that stuff. And multiple, 2 is 1, 1 is none, 3 is better. You know, you can have it at a buddy's house. And then you could have it in multiple places so that you can get that information if need be. Your information is important. Okay, so we come into the third act. We're rocking now. Erica, they're going to go out on a nice leisurely horseback ride. It's going to be nice and chill and, enjoyable. And then here comes one of the horses running by. The mountain lion scene goes down. It's challenging to find a mountain lion growl that sounds good in an audio drama. Just let me tell you that part about it.
They're so shy in front of the microphone.
Oh, am I really quiet?
Huh. No, the mountain lion's so shy in front of the microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just throwing you curveballs all show.
Oh no, Breezy Can was on and said I was pretty quiet last week too. Can't hear, but the guest is loud. Huh. I don't know what's going on. Let me try that.
You're not making it across the border.
Oh no, that did not fix it. That was evil. That was evil sounding. It sounded like echo. Okay, let's see. Does that help you out at all, Breezy Can? Oh, now we're all quiet. Now does that? I'll talk. Hey, and I'm actually honored because quiet is not something I'm usually called. So that's awesome. Like, Chin, you're super loud.
Off your bucket list now.
Yep. I can just.
And I'm the opposite normally.
Check that right off. Yep.
Yeah.
And it comes through good on all my audio gear over here. So, yeah, if you can give me an update, if that helped, I did a little clicky do, and I could always look into some more stuff on the off time. Okay. So Erica has the encounter with the mountain lion, and, humans aren't going to be the only thing displaced if we have this kind of global catastrophe, right? So you'll have animals and everything else on the move as well, high stress for them as well, right? So they might be doing some things that they don't normally do. Treating the wound. Infection is the major concern. Any kind of a cat wound or anything like that, infection is going to be really, really important to rinse it good and get rid of that. Oh, no. We started talking technical stuff and I lost you. See what happens?
You got to use that silver stuff that
Oh, the Silvazorb. Yeah, Silvazorb.
Right?
Yep, that's big time helper. So
that if you don't have a Neosporin, because Neosporin's like the best.
Yeah, no, she's like Neosporin sucks the worst. So
that was just for Lisa.
For Lisa. So if she's listening, she's gonna be like, "What? What,
Chin? I'm gonna smack you."
I told you not to use that stuff.
Yep.
Okay, I'm still trying to adjust some things. Breezy's still not hearing me good, which I know. It's just odd.
Count your blessings, Breezy.
Whatever. And let's see if I can turn that up. Let's see. All right, there we go. That's all I can do. I can't do anything more. I tried everything on my end. A new mic. Oh, you could go subscribe to my stuff, and then I can get a new mic, which I've wanted for a really long time. And then I could definitely do
sales pitch.
Yeah, you like that? Because I definitely do need a new mic. Oh, it worked. All right. Woo woo. Happy to help.
Hey, this is where, is it Jen? She like protects her sister?
Yes.
From the mountain? Yeah.
Yeah, with a stick.
Yeah, with a stick.
Yeah. I would be
a jalapeno on a stick.
On a stick. I would be Dookian in my drawers because those things are wicked, crazy animals. Like, insane. So, yeah. Would not be a fun day.
No.
Same thing with the horse issue, too. Most horses nowadays aren't more than dogs in pastures. They're not trained to like fight from or hear a gunshot and be able to be calm. I used to have a horse. It was a miracle. I mean, he was just so smooth and mellow. You could do that around him, but most of them, no way. You fire a gun around them, they're going to be like gone, you know? So, yeah. Perfect. All righty.
That's funny. I put the mountain lion in my little show notes too. I like that scene.
Yeah. I liked it in the books, and it was a challenge to bring that one to life in an audio, right? Because it's like the horses in motion and like trying to just with no narrator show you like Erica going in first and she goes after it and the animal's flying through the air. Vince comes in and saves her, you know? I mean, there's a lot to that scene. It was a challenge. All right.
That was a good one. I liked it.
Thank you. And then Swenson, the fight.
Yeah.
This one was really challenging for me to do as well, like super challenging to put together. But I really wanted to do it justice because it's like the pit scene and, you know, to have them in the ring, Sergey against TJ was just epic. Yeah. And I love the build to that one too. With the bickering and and Mr. Lee is like,
Mr. Lee, yeah, I love that one. That was the best.
He's like, that's it. I can't take anymore. You
like
guys
preparing. It's like, don't make me stop this car.
Right? Yeah. I can't take anymore. You guys are going to the ring. And then I was thinking about like a lot of times when guys were allowed to be guys before all this social
before the bun.
The manhandle. You know, before all this happened, there used to be times when it was like the best way for boys to solve problems was just like throw down and have it out. You know, the schoolyard fight, right? Just simple, innocent, nobody getting weapons or friends or, you know, it was just, let's just solve our differences, right? And as an athlete, there's tons of times like when we played ice hockey and stuff, we're like just rubbing and checking with the other team and then everybody shakes hands after. We go have a beer, you know, hang out and like, dude, that was awesome. And that's so...
You hockey players are insane.
It was fun. I just live too far from a skating rink right now. But yeah, I'm not driving 2 hours to go ice skating. It's not going to happen. So, you know, a lot of these traits, though, are being stomped out and like genetically male are our warriors. So you're wondering why we're having like some serious social problems with the men right now. I think it's because they're so stifled. They're not allowed to be warriors. And, you know, and I'm not talking like killing each other or anything like that, but there's a certain level of like, go get it, work that stuff out, go for a run, hit a bag, move, you know, do some stuff to like move that testosterone around. And when you're just like, oh no, you have to just sit quietly in the corner and deal with that. It's a problem.
I want my safe space.
Yeah, totally. It's a big problem. So I really wanted to like kind of highlight that there, and it's just awesome and cool to see. Like, I can't wait to see that one on the TV screen. Okay, we're down to the third one. Vergis. He is meeting Staff Sergeant Alex Bingham. Gunnery Sergeant Ben Nicholton. He's already met Gunny once, and then Sergeant Patrick Bennett. So this is actually a huge meeting. It's a very important moment in the story when Vergis and Bennett first meet each other, right? Yep. And any of those who have read my book series and things like that, it's kind of the sneak peek behind the veil that I included in the audio drama that's not in the book series. So there's your, like, you know, everybody who's listening to the book series, it's great to listen to the audio drama too, because you're going to get tons and tons of new nuggets that I included in the audio drama to really bring it to life. So you guys, you know, can have a lot of fun with it too. So.
I love that when they were in this way back at the beginning of the audio, when they were in the airplane and they're flying over when the flood starts. That was cool.
Yeah, right?
That was, I mean, you were with Erica in the beginning of this whole journey,
and
now we get to another perspective of it outside of the wine cellar.
Yes. Yeah, that's well, and with not being able to be a narrative in the story, I had to think of a creative way to show you guys what that really looks and what was happening. Yeah, so I used it as a tool as well.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes the Lord works in mysterious ways, and you never know where relationships will lead you. I met this dude who was just like commenting on my books, and like whenever he was on the treadmill, he used to hit me up because he was listening to my audio books. And
who's that losing?
Yeah, and now here we are co-hosting a show together. Get together once a year, and so you just never know where things are going to lead you.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
So you were on the West Coast. I was on the East Coast.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
completely.
Literally. I was literally like miles from the coast.
Right. And then Ellen as well,
Yeah.
That here I got like my best friend live in Australia. Like it's just great times, and I never imagined the Lord would would bless
Joker.
me with so many great people. Yeah.
Who knows? You'd have met the real life Joker.
Yeah, if you guys know the book series, Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to check that out.
Hey, before we close out, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it.
Okay. Swenson has this line that says, "Happy people are productive people." I had to crack up when I heard that.
Did you like that one? Well, he thinks he's doing the right thing. I mean, he
okay, Doug.
He just wasn't raised right, and he has a couple emotional problems.
This is what happens when you throw a perfectly good little kid in a dumpster.
Exactly. So, yep.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, everybody should have that story now. You can learn it in the audio drama or in the Swenson book. So
should I say survive now?
Yes. Just start throwing it out there so when Skype cuts you off. Maybe it's the heat.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Until next time, remember, dream,
survive,
thrive.